Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Season 2 of the North American Challenger League. There's too many C's out there. I was about to say NACC. That was last weekend. We're back into a brand new week. Day number 2 of NACL, and we're coming back with our last game of the night. As LoLPro take on a little bit of a boost to vVv Gaming. They've got Chris. He's back, and he's in that top lane. Gets snuggled in the jungle, right where he belongs. It's been a rough season so far for vVv, but with Chris back in the gaming house, ready to go, vVv looking strong coming into their game tonight against LoLPro.
Yeah, and we even see like the welcome back tweets as Chris had been unavailable for a while and finally gets snuggled in the jungle. We've been seeing him top lane, and he's not that bad at it, but you know, when you're playing in a different position, it really kind of ruins the flow, ruins how the team works, and a lot of dynamics. So I'm glad to see everybody where they should be. Becknolf in the mid lane, Tails, AD carry, and of course Gonti in that bot lane support role. I really like vVv. They don't win the most, but they do some of the more fun things, and like they are very aggressive, very, very all in a lot of senses, and it can work out so well and be very fun to watch. Yeah,
if you guys aren't fans of vVv, if you don't believe vV, then you need to check out this game because they're a great team that, like Studios said, they do some of the craziest stuff you'll ever see. More so back on the original vVv roster, but it's still there tonight. And we'll have to see what happens as with the banning phase containing mostly mid laners, you got Lulu, Kassadin, LeBlanc, and Nidalee all banned out. Leaves an Elise in there, and Chris returning to the roster as one of the only top lane Elise players. Might see that there, but of course with Get Snuggled in the jungle, you can't really pass up the power, the ganking alacrity that jungle Elise has.
Yeah, that Spider amazing both in the top lane and the jungle. Meta does not really make her do that well in the top lane, but Chris has used her very effectively in the past, so it's still ambiguous. I like that. LoLPro still don't know exactly where Elise will go, so we might see Elise in the jungle. I would like to see their top laner come out first from LoLPro to see if they're going to counterpick that on the side of vVv. But we'll see who they pick for the mid lane. Looks like the Fat Man being selected. There is some options like Yasuo to counter that out, but they don't have knockups available like Lulu, for example.
Now, we just got done seeing a Gragas top lane from Ackerman that went somewhat well if you guys got a chance to watch the game. So you all know the power of top lane Gragas. Mid lane Gragas has been a thing for a long time, but in the jungle, haven't seen a jungle Gragas in a while. So is this Heaven Time's time to break the meta?
It could be. I don't know about jungle Gragas. It's effective, but it's one of those junglers that no one is confident on. However, we do have Elise already chosen. Pantheon has been picked up. We might see Lee Sin come out for Heaven Time. Would be the next, I'd say, logical choice. Or Wukong. Like, there are a few options available, but because a lot of junglers have already been taken off the board, we might see that Gragas in the jungle. He is still pretty high up there in terms of jungling capabilities.
And there's a lock-in on Shyvana, also interchangeable for the jungle, but should just see straight-up lanes across the board. This is kind of interesting. It's like everybody's just straight-up picking their champions. We've got Hansert, great top-lane Shyvana player. We also got Heaven Time, who has jungled Gragas before. I think it was in one of the first couple games of NACL, or maybe was it last season? I can't remember the last time I've seen him play jungle Gragas, but he has done it before. Jackie's going to lock in the Yasuo. You've got a Sivir lock-in for Laud, but the Yasuo-Gragas combo, and even the Dragon's Descent as well, all sets up very, very well for Yasuo's knockup, or for his last breath. And we're looking for the last choices for carry solo lanes here, as we've got the AD carry. We're looking for mid and probably top. There's a Kog'Maw being hovered over, and if it was chosen, that would be mid lane Kog'Maw.
Yeah, that would be something effective. It's really hard to deny Kog'Maw because of his ultimate. It's not a projectile. It's just targeted on that piece of ground, so it was not exactly the most effective versus that. However, Kog'Maw is also very squishy. Once you catch him, especially as a Yasuo, Kog'Maw just outright dies. Ziggs is locked in. Unfortunately, no fun mid lane Kog'Maw. That is not too common of a pick. But
Riven's going to get locked in too. And if you guys are fans of Chris or have been following for a while, you know he really sort of got his fame up in the top lane as an Olaf and Riven player. And Riven seen some nerfs pretty recently, and don't really see her out there out on the Rift all that often. But
oh, that's a gamble. They're trying to catch Gragas top lane. They think it's top lane Gragas jungle Shyvana.
Yeah, so they want to sort of mind game the switch that LoLPro have ready to go. And I guess that's an option. They don't have to switch into that and put Gragas top lane against the Riven. If you guys have never played Gragas top lane versus Riven, please don't. It's very, very rough to deal with because you body slam him in and then you die.
Yeah, Riven has issues in the mid lane because it's such a smaller lane. However, she has so much more chase potential in the top lane that Riven just has a lot more options, and it's a rough lane for Gragas. However, Chris already swaps back up to the Riven top lane. Shyvana does very well versus Riven because Shyvana does well pretty much versus anybody except maybe a Trundle every now and then.
Yeah,
so
there's not a lot that you can do. Ooh, wait, what? Is that okay? What's our support champion here? Here, studio. I believe there was a lock-in on a Malphite, which should actually
like support Gragas.
Okay, so it's either going to be support Gragas or support Malphite.
Yes,
I'm thinking support Malphite. They both kind of do the same thing. You hit ground slam or barrel roll, and you get an attack speed slow on the AD carry. Alternatively, when you go to something along the lines of a support Gragas, you get maybe a little bit more kill potential, but either way, they've got wombo combo all-ins. They both set up very, very well for Yasuo, and if you've played any Hexakill recently, you might have seen this team composition because let's just say that's, I don't know, Wombo Combo describes it pretty well. So I'm pretty excited to see what LoLPro has to bring out here. It's a little bit of a different team composition. Support Malphite from low down there in the bottom lane is it's going to be pretty impressive to watch. At the same time, Chris has brought back Riven and might work out for lane, but it's going to be rough once these team fights start happening. So we'll get a chance to see how that all works out once we load into tonight's final game of the evening. Before we do that, we're going to hit a quick shout out to our sponsors. As we, you can see them right down below the screen. It's LOL Class. For a very affordable price, you can get lessons from the best LCS pros on some of their most trademarked champions. Head over to lolclass.com, sign up, and get all your questions and more answered by heading over to lolclass.com. Second, and I guess it's been with us probably the longest time of all of our sponsors, is the Loot Crate. For $13.37 a month, you can get a crate of loot, some cool geek gaming gear by subscribing to Loot Crate. You're going to hit the box right down below, or just head over to lootcrate.com to find out all the cool stuff that they'll send you in a nice crate of loot. And last but not least, there's Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix peripherals make excellent just computer accessories, for example, keyboards, mice, mouse pads, headsets. I highly recommend checking them out. We have the link down below at Phoenix. They're a fantastic maker of products such as those accessories. It's really top-of-the-line, high-quality stuff, so check them out. And with that, you know what? We got LoLPro going up against vVv. I'm excited for this match. I'm excited for the support Malphite. We'll see how this works out, but we got to get in game first rapid. So we're going to cut to a quick break, and we'll be right back here at the North American Challenger League.
Those nights when we were younger and we would never sleep. So let's forget about tomorrow and live for tonight while we're free. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. dust we will awaken, and life will fill our veins. But these are the moments that we live for. I can keep it inside of me. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive. Touch the sky. Tonight we're coming alive.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the North American Challenger League Season 2. I am Rapid. I'm here with Studio. You guys are here as well. So thanks for joining us for our last game of the night. vVv take on LoLPro. Of course, vVv in the blue, LoLPro in the red. Coming out onto the Rift tonight, LoLPro looking good and coming into the season as a very strong roster. vVv kind of on the underside of things, but with Chris back on the roster, back in the gaming house, it'll be interesting to see what vVv have to bring out for us today.
I'm also interested in seeing what LoLPro has to bring out today, because what the hell did LoLPro bring out today? They've got the Gragas jungle Malphite support. So Malphite support, it's not unheard of. It's popped up every now and then. He has the advantage where once you hit level 6, you could stop getting experience the entire game and still be effective because of that knock-up, especially with a Yasuo on the team. The problem is going to be in lane. He'll have some issues, especially if Caitlyn pushes him fast. I would not be surprised to see him put a point into Ground Slam at level 1, which sounds very odd because it is melee range. But you can use that and try to push up the minion wave as fast as possible. If not, you can expect him to level up a Seismic Shard, sit in the brush and kind of look for an opportunity to maybe do something. But if not, he will go ahead, just hide, play Jungle Warrior, and maybe look for pokes every now and then.
All right, Jackie playing Yasuo is sort of the linchpin of this team composition. It's kind of a weird combo between sort of the old Korean race car comp, where you used to just pick every single champion that had a move speed increase ability, and having time walking around the side. Could start with a body slam and get some poke down there on to get snuggled, but isn't going to turn things around just yet. You usually want to start with like a barrel roll. if you want to like lower the attack speed of the buffs that you're starting. You can just get body slam if you want to nuke it down, and you do take a little bit more damage that way. So
yeah, so for the barrel, you toss out the barrel at the 50-second mark if you can, so it's going to be a little bit later for a Heaven time. And then with the attack speed reduced, you can just go ahead very quickly and safely kill minions. I believe you actually might start with the body slam because he was late to the jungle, so a little bit unfortunate, but not too big a deal. Actually now being pressured by Gonti and Tails.
Oh man, they can flash and kill him there. Flash flay backwards, now he's slowed, and it's first blood for Tails, vVv. Bloodthirsty from minute 1, or minute 2 I guess. They take out the jungler. This is the second game so far where we've seen early level 1 invades. That time you don't get the buff. Still, it's the first kill of the game going to vVv.
And they actually caught out the gamble from LoLPro, because LoLPro, they were not going to have Malphite and Sivir show up to lane late, because with that Malphite pick, if Caitlyn starts pushing in, Sivir is worthless. She will not get any CS. She'll be underneath her turret the entire time. It's very hard for her to use Bouncing Blade, because that will just reduce minions' HP and she won't be able to CS well. However, they called that bluff, were able to roam towards the jungle and just deny Gragas outright. He got killed. No blue buff was taken by either side, so he will be in the jungle a little bit late and a little bit relevant. But now Caitlyn has it advantage with that one kill and can possibly scale and just keep punishing both Sivir and Caitlyn in the bot, or Sivir and Malphite in the bot lane. Now with that lane pushing back, this is where LOD and LOH are going to have a lot of trouble. Getsung also in the area trying to just apply some pressure, get a kill possibly. But with the minions pushing back, Malphite can use Ground Slam to try and stop the push. But overall, he's worthless at harass. He's worthless at doing a whole lot besides tossing out seismic shards, which will eventually drain his mana entirely. So this is where support Malphite gets a little bit weak.
Yeah, support Malphite, like you said, it's great if you want to actually go in there and fight, but unless you're actively fighting, he doesn't really give you a whole lot. Like Thresh can power up off of Soul, can harass. Oh, flash over the wall. Jackie's going to dash through a Wraith and just gets stunned out there. Chris roaming down from the top lane. vVv just don't like the laning phase at all. They walk in, they kill the jungler at level 1. Chris comes down from his lane at level 3. I actually just recently hit that level 3 too, and now they're actually going to steal the red buff, or at least try to steal that away from Heaven Time. Does have a smite, uses it, and will get the red buff, so unable to be stolen away.
Heaven Time luckily still winning the minion jungle war, and this is a pretty solid lead for vVv. And with the way the lanes are made, because it's Malphite support, because it's Sivir being pressured, they have a lot more map control. Like, they do not need to worry about the bot lane until LOH is level 6.
Oh, they're already going to jump onto Hanser up in the top lane, taken down to about 2/3 health. And Chris, man, I gotta give it to vVv. This is the kind of plays that you see from like top level teams internationally. Just realizing that there's no rule that says you have to be in your lane. You can go where you need to be to pick up kills early, put a lot of pressure where you know your opponents are weak, to make it happen. Already 2 kills in their columns. The Malphite pick 2 still has yet to pay off, but we're only 4.5 minutes into the game, so it's a very early start. Yasuo starting to roam. Jackie coming down bottom lane, looking to come in behind Tails and Gonti and catch him off guard.
Yeah, he's looking for that pickoff. He already died in lane. He wants to try and catch up. Tails does already retreat. Gonti is hit by the seismic shard. Might go down.
He's going to get exhausted there, too, because it's a nice boomerang blade there. Will not be able to flash away because that's still on cooldown, but still a lot more damage turned back on to Lod. He's down to 200 health, and Chris did roam down for another kill, but it hasn't affected him just yet. Still kind of losing out in that top lane.
Yeah, Chris knowing he's playing Riven against Shyvana. Shyvana at level 1 can't have trouble with Riven, so what Chris has done is he pushed in early, roamed from that lane, and now it's going to be hard for him to leave. As Hanser, level 3 actually has his skills, or level 5 and actually has all of his skills. He can push in hard, he can actually duel versus Chris, and because of the Riven nerfs, Chris will have his own issues trying to 1v1 versus Hanser, and all of a sudden Chris is going to be stuck in the top lane. So vVv had the chance to roam, but now Chris is going to be a lot more restricted, as Hanser's just not going to allow that pressure. Now Chris very low himself. Ooh. Definitely in dive range. If Hanser hits level 6 soon, it has to go back to base.
Yeah, Hanser had Ignite up too there. That was pretty scary for Chris. Got a little bit greedy for that last CS. Didn't even get it, I don't think. But we'll go back to base. Grabs a pickaxe and comes straight to lane with double Doran's blades as well. So he's banking on Hanser not being able to pick up something super defensive super fast, because that pickaxe, it's going to be good for a Tiamat, but it won't be good for a Brutalizer if Hanser decides to stack up that early Sunfire Cape armor.
And I'd expect Hanser to do that ASAP, but luckily he has advantage.
Lands onto low, so does that Cocoon, forcing the flash almost immediately. The Piltover Peacemaker, I think, actually missed there. Repel up, but it's the Ignite, and oh, Tails with the last hit, taken down low. Down there in the bottom lane. He had Targon's Brace too, no potions left. Upgrades it to the Targons actually and picks up nothing but wards. Took the hard way back to base, and it's the 3rd kill of the game for vVv.
I mean, the lanes on LoLPro are silly. They're funny. They're great past laning phase, but they're not that effective in the laning phase. And this is really where it's coming. Malphite can't do anything in the bot lane right now. And it's weird to say that. Most support's like, all right, they can maybe poke out, maybe try and clear the wave. Malphite can almost clear the wave, but he takes a lot of damage. He's not building tanky, he's building support. So he has very little armor, and his shield isn't that strong because he's just so underleveled. So Tails will just poke him out. Gonti can poke him out as well with that thresh damage, and he's just getting destroyed in lane. Chris top lane, because of that pickaxe and the giant spell rather than a armor item for Hanser, the extra mitigation isn't a huge issue yet because he hasn't been able to buy it. So Chris can keep pressuring. Maybe we'll see him roam a bit more. He'll still be stuck in the top lane in general, but this is now his one item advantage, his gold advantage opportunity to really put on the pain. And you can see Hanser just getting destroyed by that Riven combo.
Hanser came back to lane with a Giant's belt instead of like a chain vest, which would have been a little bit more effective. But at the same time, this is just the strength of Riven. You put in some lifesteal Quints, you stack up that early AD, there's not a whole lot you can do to trade. Shyvana actually one of the champions that trades the best, but you can just see that combo right there. Chris gets a nice double stun, flash out along with those broken wings, and that range coverage just a little bit too close to follow. That's that combo you see at level 6 hit, Dragon's Descent into Last Breath. Not enough to take down Chris though.
And that is that Riven mobility in play. That Riven shield barely enough to keep her alive. Get someone going to grab the blue buff. Heaven Time, making some friends. Should be able to escape this. Doesn't have cast, but the body slam is enough for now.
Didn't have to flash there, which was the really big deal. Anytime you get caught out by a Thresh Flay, you always are a little bit more vulnerable to having blow your flash because you're slowed, you get auto-attacked out there, and it was a sticky situation for a while. Heaven Time just now hitting level 6. Let's see what he can do with that. It's going to go back, but flash forced out there by Jackie. Logue actually gets flayed back into a trap. There's an attempted all-in, but it's not too all-in when you have 200 HP or even less than that. Flay backwards right after the spell shield, and man, Tails and Gone in a clinic down here in the bottom lane. 4-0 with 3 of those kills on Tails.
If there's a lesson to be learned in this, it's don't pick support Malphite in solo queue. It will not go well. It will go worse than this, actually. Now Dragon being taken down. Malphite, once he hits level 6, he sets everything up. That's when he becomes a huge force. He can set up ganks. He can set up huge burst combos from LOD. The issue is he's not level 6 yet. He doesn't do anything quite yet, and if he can finally hit level 6, we can see Heaven Time Roam Bot use Explosive Cast for a combo to knock people back, really catch him out. Until then, though, he is, I mean, he's just a rock. He is a rock that does absolutely nothing, and I do not like saying that because I love Malphite as a champion, but in the support role, you need to get that early push and that early snowball. That is so hard to do versus Caitlyn Thresh.
I can see Chris, he's going to Valor out of there. He doesn't really want to deal with Hanser just yet. Hanser will stick around a little bit longer, just trying to protect that pink ward. Actually hunting out Chris there. He tries to take down the ward, won't be able to take it out, but does drop a ward of his own. Back to the middle lane, though, is Jackie having a rough start. Didn't start with the Avarice Blade. Went straight for the Zeal instead. So, any reason why we see that? Because usually, I mean, Avarice Blade's a great item to get early on.
The Avarice Blade has a little extra bit of farming potential. However, Ziggs has so much harass, and the Elise pressure has been very high this game. She only has 30 CS. So Yasiel really needs a little bit more move speeds, much more than the gold generation from Avarice Blade. He's scared of dying, and Jackie was able to go back to base and afford the Zephyr, or the Zeal, and he's just really worried about those ganks from Get Snuggled, because he has just been all over the map. He is not farming, but he's getting kills, so he's still keeping up with Heaven Time.
All right, another attempted roam here. There is a pink ward in the bottom tri-brush, so I don't think Heaven Time and Jackie are really going to accomplish all that much, but what they are going to do is wait and bait. They're in the bush right outside red. A little bit of a backing out of lane there for Tails and Gonti. They will not be coming up towards mid, but now, coming right into the middle lane. You can see the explosive cast, but no follow-up from the Last Breath there from Jackie. Didn't want to go in too aggressively, and as his gank attempt thwarted, and Heaven Time is going back to the jungle.
Chris roaming from the top lane, just going to clear out this ward. He could try and go for a kill, possibly. You know, roaming towards the mid lane could catch out Gragas in the jungle as well. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana on Heaven Time right now. But it looks like he'll be staying top lane, focusing on that farm. vVv now going to be a little bit more passive. as is the style for this point in the game. The roaming and creep cutting from Chris will draw a lot more pressure. This will mean that Malphite won't get the back to the bot lane. They're trying to snowball the map through that laning presence, which can happen, especially since Dragon is no longer available as an objective.
Yeah, alright, so steps to ganking with Gragas and really just jungle Gragas. When you go into ult, kind of got to hit your explosive cast. Jackie had the chance to go offensive earlier. Now he's going to have to go defensive, but not able to escape another roam from Chris. Chris, I don't think you understand the rules. You stay in your lane. You don't kill everybody else out on the map, but he's not listening to the rules. Picks up a kill mid and kill bottom as well. Now his vVv just all over everything. Barrier just barrier. He's not even going to see the bomb. Peckinwolf. Oh my
poor
God.
LOD. Poor. You could tell he was already looking at the shop at that point. The bomb would not have hit him. He could have very easily dodged it. But he pressed open the shop menu and just immediately died. 7-0 for vVv. LoLPro Hanser being chased out of the top turret. I mean, no turrets have been taken by LoLPro, only one by vVv. I guess that's a nice advantage to only lose that one objective so far. But this is just Chris roaming across the map. Caitlyn is destroying Sivir. Thresh is destroying Malphite. The CS difference isn't that massive because Malphite does have that targets, but man, I do not like Malphite support versus Caitlyn Thresh. I'm just going to say that one more time because it is doing nothing. The Malphite initiation did happen, but because Gragas has been so focused in other parts of the map, he didn't really do a whole lot.
I mean, he had the opportunity mid, but he missed his explosive cask, so there was no follow-up from Jackie. And that time around, yeah, Lod got caught looking, so... It's a rough start to the game here, and when you run a wombo combo team comp like this, actually Dragus is sent on to Chris. He's going to be hard-pressed to get back towards his turret. Does get the Valor out of there. Nice little shield there. Jackie's going to take one more auto attack, but goes down there. Hanser picks up a kill. Tails is unstoppable, and he's also in the middle lane because you don't have to be bottom when you're just smashing that lane wide open. Just look at the CS difference. It's 80 to 124, a 65 CS advantage at 13 minutes for Tails.
Luckily, once again, the targets evens it out a bit. Only about 20 coming in, but still, this is a Sivir that should be keeping up with Caitlyn if her lane's going at all evenly, which it's not. This is also a 5-kill difference in favor of Caitlyn versus the 0-kill, 0-assist Sivir.
And look at Malphite. No defensive stats, no armor, no anything. Just that
cooldown
boots
boots
and Ionian boots of lucidity. Now, Lod's gonna be able to farm here behind the. He's gonna go suicide.
He's dead. He knows he will not make it out of here. And once Elise has shown up, he is not going to escape. Question is, will someone pick up the assist? Yes, because it's going to walk right into Gonti. Rest in peace, LOD. You had a good run. You got some damage on the turret. Didn't quite secure the turret, but hey, I guess some CS is worth that death, possibly. If he knew he was going to die,
no.
At least he ran out of there. But yeah, that was not worth it, unfortunately. But the ward coverage isn't really coming out for LoLPro. Malphite went with the cooldown boots, which is odd, but the advantage is he can spam the ultimate a whole lot more often. But the problem is, every time he uses that ultimate, he's probably either escaping or he's dying.
Yeah, and I think he's doing a little bit more of one than he is of the other, but the cooldown boots are cool, I guess, if not just in name, because they allow him to ult more. But why is he going to be ulting? Like, does it allow him more escape?
That's all he can do. Like, that is all support Malphite does. You ult in, you spam your spells, and then you'll probably die anyways. But normally you have something to go off of. And he needs Jackie to be there to follow up.
Forced out on Peckinwolf by a nice
ult Peckinwolf right now. Do it. Do it. That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
Just use 5 ultimates for one champion, then just run back away, back to your base, AFK for a minute, come back with more.
All right. This is LoLPro's chance to do something. They can go ahead, pressure into the dragon. They will have people grouped up for a team fight. They are very far behind, so I do not think this will go well. 7,000 gold difference, but hey, they've got a bunch of AoE team fight ultimates. Now's your chance to use those big ol' ultis.
They're trying to bait here for the dragon. Now Lowe's going to go low. Gets taken out before he can even ult. That's why you buy defensive stats. It's a double kill for Chris coming out of the top lane. Hanser's low as well. Tails is dominating from the back, and that is a 4-for-nothing exchange. The only reason Heaven Time didn't die is I think he got that memo a little bit earlier on. He's like, I don't know if you've ever seen Next, it's kind of like that. Heaven Time saw it coming. The only problem is he didn't warn anyone.
I'm so sad right now. I want to see that fight from LoLPro. I didn't think they were going to win even if they got the ultis off, but they didn't even get the ultis off. They got nothing out of that, and that was just... It's just making me sad here, but luckily very well fought by vVv. They saw the chance. If you can burst down a heavy initiator like Sona, for example, you burst them down, even though it's support, because it stops all that CC. In the case of Malphite, though, you normally don't burst him because you can't, but support Malphite with cooldown boots, yeah, he's pretty easily picked off. So, I mean, that stings, that burns, but...
Cooldown the boots don't reduce the cooldown of the death timers.
Unfortunately, no.
Lowe's been spending a lot of time dead. Now, he actually went a step further and bought distortion upgrades on his cooldown boots. So he's going for the blue build on Malphite. Has a blue potion as well. He's going to have to get rid of those other consumables.
I think LoLPro might have been trying to have some fun with this game, but the fun's come and bitten them.
It's a cool comp if it gets ahead.
Yeah, if they got ahead or even were even, they could do a lot of stuff. They could still initiate, but the problem is it will never be even versus some of these lanes.
Yeah, some of the lanes are working out, some of them are not. And you got to give some props to Haunter, having picked up the only kill for LoLPro, and actually picking up their only turret as well. That guy's doing work in the top lane, but mostly that's just because top lane's kind of an island, and he's been doing pretty well on that island. Maybe he's gotten himself, a little League of Legends volleyball. Maybe it's a Poro ball. I don't know. I saw some epic Poros at LCS this past weekend. Pretty sure if you found one of those on an island, you'd feel pretty good. But I don't think Haunter feels too good right now. He's going to dive in, gets flayed back. It's the anti-aircraft fire. There is that wombo combo, but Low is not going to be long for this world. Gets repelled on, goes down, and Beckenwolf's going to die here too. Actually, he drops the minefield. Could turn this back around onto Haunter, but it's a double kill. Beckenwolf just kiting for his life, and oh, Haunter, poor Haunter, gets pulled back in for a triple kill. Gets snuggled. Man, if you guys didn't believe vVv after or before this game, hopefully you guys do now. It's 18-1, and just something as simple as Chris coming back to the roster puts Get Snuggled back in the jungle. He's 5-0-6. He's back at home, and vVv back at home, looking to put one more victory on the board.
And we might have a new record in the NACL, at least for Season 2. We are currently at the 18.5-minute mark. The fastest win so far, I believe, was, at least tonight, was 25 minutes by LMQ. Inhibitor turret already down. Maybe vVv can break this record. It's looking like it because LoLPro, I mean, they've just got nothing left in this point. Their AoE ultimates aren't doing enough damage. Gragas doesn't have enough AP. Naseal doesn't have even a finished static Shiv yet. Sivir doesn't even have I guess Infinity Edge might be the build for Sivir, or possibly going into Bloodthirster Last Whisper. But regardless, no one has a first major item completed outside of Shyvana with a Sunfire Cape, so they have no real AoE burst. And if you look at the damage from Ziggs, he's got Athene's Death Cap, Riven has Ravenous Hydra, Brutalizer, and of course we've got a Bloodthirster Last Whisper. Zeal already finished for Caitlyn. These are major kind of mid to late game items, and they're just going to do so much ridiculous burst damage.
Yeah, we're starting to see some big power spikes. Yeah, Static Shiv, Death Cap from Beckenwolf's Ziggs, and to be honest, Beckenwolf's been around for a long time, and I don't think he really gets the credit that he really deserves. Having done very well in lane against Jackie, and more what's hurt Jackie this game is the lack of success off of roaming bottom lane, roaming top lane. Just was never really able to make a whole lot of an impact on the game. And Windwall is cool. I think Haunter gonna go in, sets right up for this LoLPro wombo combo, but already you can see Gaunty taking out Jackie almost single-handedly. Snuggles, he's not even fighting the team fight. He's in the base, kills off Laud, and all right, there's the shutdown. It's at least 2 kills there. Once again, both of them going to Haunter, but it's the 20-minute mark, and right on time, the surrender vote comes out. It's a 20-2 victory for vVv.
Congratulations to vVv. We have a new record. I don't think this is the first 20-minute surrender, I believe, so congratulations. LoLPro, I mean, it did not work. It was funny. It was silly. It could have worked, but it did not work. And support Malphite, I think we might have to put him away for a bit. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I feel like there's a place for him. That place probably isn't in competitive play, but if you guys want to try him out, you are forewarned. This can happen. But once again, just congratulations to vVv. They've got Chris back and looking stronger than ever. So if you guys are fans of them, definitely make sure to show them your support. I think you can follow them on Twitter at vVv_gaming. Let them know how much you hashtag BelieveVV. So we want to thank them for playing. Thank everybody for watching, and it's been a great couple days of NACL. But there's not 2, but 3 more days coming your way, as we will be broadcasting every day this week from 5 to 10 p.m. PST. Hopefully we'll see you guys back a little bit later. But I think that's gonna do it for tonight. So on behalf of myself, Studio, EGAD, On all of our live production crew, also on behalf of Timo and Amumu, we do want to thank you guys for coming out and watching the North American Challenger League. Thank you so much, and we'll see you back here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great night.